What's up? I'm back. My name's Warren. I am a banker in London and a property investor across the UK. My goal is to live on my own terms, have all of my living expenses covered by property in the next 5 years, right? So my goal from property is to have £3,000 per month in cash flow over the next 5 years. If that's your goal too, to live free and independently through property, subscribe, and I hope you like my videos. So guys, I bought my first house, the house that I live in now, in 2017, June of 2017 to be precise, using the Help to Buy equity loan scheme. Now the rule is, guys, after 5 years, you have to start paying interest on that loan. It's not free forever, okay? And not a lot of people think that far ahead, as in what they're going to do after 5 years, how much it's going to cost them, all that kind of stuff. Well, today I'm going to tell you what happened to us. Recently, we just came to the end of our 5 years on our Help to Buy scheme. And long story short, it's going to cost us £5,000 over 2 years that I wasn't expecting to have to pay. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to hopefully give you some learning point stuff that you can learn so that you won't have to be penalized in the same way that we have. Let's get into it, guys. So guys, as I mentioned, the rule is after 5 years, when you come to the end of the initial 5-year term with Help to Buy loan and a lot of the other similar products, you either have to repay the Help to Buy loan fully, that's tens of thousands of pounds, often hundreds of thousands of pounds, or you don't repay them, but you start paying interest on that money, because up until then it's been free. Up until this year, we've been able to borrow 40% of the value of our house, guys. It's a great scheme. 40% free, no interest, no repayments, but you know, nothing's free forever. Okay, so those are the options. And if you're going to repay the Help to Buy loan, there's two main ways of doing it. Either you rob a bank, you inherit a lot of money, maybe from, you know, grandparents, parents, you have a trust fund, or what most people do is that they repay it via a mortgage refinance, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So let me give you some numbers, guys. When it comes to investing, I'm all about the maths. So when I bought this property in 2017, I paid £364,000 for it, 1 bed flat, Southeast London. The mortgage with the lender, my bank, was £200,200. That's 55% of the value of the home at the time. The Help to Buy loan was 40%, which was £145,600. I contributed 5%, which was £18,200. Now, since 2017, right, I've been paying down my mortgage. So if we assume that the property is still worth £364,000, what I paid for it in 2017 today, as at today, I've been paying down my mortgage. Mortgage is down to £175,000, right? So it was at £200,200 when I took it out. I've paid off £25,000 basically off of the mortgage over 5 years. So it's down from 55% to 48%. The Help to Buy loan is still at 40%. So that's still at £145,600. And because I've paid off just over £25,000, my equity has gone up from £18,200 to £43,400. Okay, I hope you're all still with me. So guys, and now pay attention, because this is the important part. If I was to remortgage today and pay off the Help to Buy loan, I'd need an 88% loan, an 88% mortgage. That's to pay off the 40% that I've borrowed from Help to Buy and the existing 48% mortgage that I have with my current lender. I need an 88% loan to value mortgage. See how that works? Now, I've been speaking to a broker for the last 2 months, and for most people, as long as your credit score, your credit history is decent, it's not a huge problem to get an 88% mortgage, right? So when I spoke to my broker, basically I could, in theory, have gotten a mortgage all the way up to a 95% LTV, which is really high, but there are products on the market at that level. By and large, you have plenty of products at the 85% to 90% LTV, right? But guys, it's not that simple, okay? My property, remember in the example I just gave, I said, assume that the property is still worth what I paid for it, £364,000 back in 2017. My property has fallen in value since 2017 by, and take a guess in the comments, yeah, before I say how much it's fallen by, because you're not going to believe this. The right answer gets a free dashboard. Actually, no, that's not going to work, because you'll just listen to the rest of the video and then put it in the comments. But anyway, my property value has fallen by £34,000 in 5 years.
Now,
I am in property, right, for the income and the capital appreciation. The capital appreciation is really how you build wealth over the long term. Now, this isn't going to plan, guys. The house that I live in is down by £34,000, and I'll get into at the end why it's gone down by that much. But yeah, we had a RICS valuation to confirm this, and I was shocked, to be honest, guys. I was really shocked because I thought in 5 years, you know, the stats are that in the UK, on average, over the last at least 50 years, I think it's longer than that, properties have doubled every 10 years. Property values have doubled every 10 years. So I'm expecting a nice healthy chunk. Like, I wasn't expecting like double in value to 670,000, especially given the last 5 years we've been through economically. But, you know, I was expecting a nice like 10, 20 grand increase, but went down. And I think there's a couple of reasons why it fell. The first is that when you buy a new build house, you pay a premium. You really do. A 1-bed flat, same size, similar spec to this, that's say 10, 20, 30 years old, is going to be worth a lot less than this one that I live in because it's new build. That's just the way it goes, right? And the second reason is we're in London. Now, property prices across the UK have done really well, especially over the last 2 years. But London has actually been falling for quite some time. London is a bubble when it comes to property. It's separate from the rest of the UK. If you live in the UK, you would know this. If you live outside of the UK, trust me, the property market in London is almost a different market compared to the rest of the UK. So London has been struggling. So I think those are the two main reasons why the property has fallen in value over the last 5 years. So tip one, guys, remember this: whenever you buy a new build, you're gonna pay a premium towards it for it. Always remember that and factor that into, you know, your estimations for the future. And just in case you're interested, I bought in London, I bought this, a new build, because it was all that was available that was close to my mum. It was near to church, it was near to friends, it was near to where I grew up. It's in the area where I grew up. So I was more than happy to pay that premium because, you know, when you live somewhere, this isn't an investment, this is where I live. And you gotta be somewhere comfortable, right, guys? You gotta be somewhere you love, where you have support around you, you have community around you, all of that good stuff. So I was happy to do that. I wouldn't do that for an investment property, okay? So let's do the math again now. Like, this is the correct math. Taking into account the fall in value of the property to £330,000. So Help to Buy is an equity loan. Now, if you don't know what an equity loan, basically an equity loan rises and falls in line with the value of the property. So if the property goes up in value, the loan goes up. If it goes down, the loan goes down. So in this case, the loan fell by just under 10% in line with the 10% fall in the property price. So the loan has fallen from £145,600 to £132,000 right now. My mortgage outstanding, as I said before, is £175,000. So when it comes to remortgaging, and if I wanted to pay off the Help to Buy loan, I would need a loan of £307,000. Now that would pay off the £132,000 Help to Buy equity loan, and it would also pay off the £175,000 existing mortgage on the property. Overall, in case you're interested, that's a 93% loan to value mortgage, so no problem getting that. In fact, my broker sent me a mortgage illustration for the loan at that amount because, you know, lenders are willing to lend. But guys, now this is the point that I really want to drive home. Yeah, we're going to get into what you guys can learn from this. Instead of paying a £200,200 mortgage each month, I'm now, if I wanted to remortgage, going to have to pay a £307,000 mortgage. Now, you know, that's an increase in the mortgage of well, just under £107,000. And when you factor in the dimension that it's a 93% loan to value, you're going to get charged a higher interest rate. The higher the LTV, the higher the interest rate. That's just how it is, guys. So that increase in the mortgage level is going to increase my monthly payments by £800 per month.
Jesus Christ.
£800 per month. God forbid. That is, I mean, how many of you have £800 extra just available to pay per month? It's a lot of money. So what have we decided to do? Well, let me tell you guys. At the beginning of this video, I told you guys that my goal is to have all of my living costs covered by property in the next 5 years. Now, paying an extra £800 per month is gonna heavily affect my ability to do this. I need to be saving for deposits on properties, and £800 is really gonna put a real big dent in that per month. So I'd rather at this point in time use that money, that £800, to invest in properties, to build my portfolio, build my income, build my wealth, and then look at paying that later down the line, right? So I opted, guys, to not repay the Help to Buy loan at the end of these 5 years, but to start paying interest. Now the interest is £200 per month. So instead of paying £800, I'm now paying £200. So I'm saving £600 that I'm putting towards investing in more properties instead. That's my personal choice right now. That's my strategy. That's what I'd rather do. Now, the reason I made this video, guys, is really to drive home the point to you guys that when you use a Help to Buy loan, I'm not saying don't use it. I mean, I would, if I could do it all again, I would absolutely use it again. It's a fantastic, fantastic scheme and product that helps people like me and you get onto the property ladder, because without it, especially in cities like London where property is peak, really hard to do so without that help. However, what you need to think about is, what are you going to do at the end of those 5 years? How much, specifically, guys, how much is it going to cost you? We can't predict interest rates in the future, but you know, use some numbers, some estimate numbers to calculate how much extra you're going to have to pay in mortgage payments at the end of 5 years. Because if I'm honest with you guys, if I'm completely transparent, I know I'm a finance guy, I'm a wealth guy, but honestly, guys, it's not something I thought about 5 years ago. You know, paying an extra £800 per month was the last thing. It wasn't even in my mind when I was taking out the product, viewing the house, putting the deposit down to the house, moving into the house, feeling good. I got a house now, I'm on the ladder. It wasn't on the radar until literally, I'd say the last 12 months, where I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to actually start repaying this thing in the next 12 months. So go for the product, great product. But if you're doing it day one now, have a think about what you're gonna do money-wise, where that money's gonna come from, basically, guys, okay? Now, I hope this video was useful, guys. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Are you using any government schemes? Have you thought about how you're gonna repay them? Let me know, share it with other people, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.